everyone. Tom Carroll come in, was excellent. Raheem Harper was a crap.
I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you.
My friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Sunday flagship podcast, Talking Town. I'm, of course, your host, the Governor. That is my beautiful overlay. There we go. The screen looks better where I don't look so naked. It's Sunday. We are here to discuss the fallout of another disappointing weekend, a frustrating weekend, a weekend that saw the town take the lead, and sadly, all too familiar. We surrendered that lead and then didn't even take a point from the game. A really disappointing weekend. But hopefully, with the help from you guys and girls, the Cruncher, and of course, hopefully, if he arrives, touch wood, the legend that is Marcus Stewart, we will help break it down and discuss where it went wrong and where we can look to build on for Tuesday, because they come around really quickly at this level. We're back at it on Tuesday against Wickham, another tough opponent. The chat is getting really busy. I like it. It's, of course, the 31st of October. Ooh. And yesterday was fucking ghastly, let's be honest. Right, Josh Russell, afternoon, my man. Andrew Harrison, afternoon. All disappointing result yesterday. Great to meet up the Talking Town fan base. That's what we like to hear. Ryan was at the game. Matt Penny made him feel a bit sick. Jason Clayton, hey, everyone. We'll be interested to see how many stayed to watch women today. Kickoff at 2 p.m. Yes, kickoff is at 2 p.m. And I do, can I get that on the screen? Yes, I think I can. Can I get that on the screen? I believe I can. I shall. I will. Oh, no, I can't. It's gone. Look at that. Just as I was about to click the button, it said, no. You don't want to do that. Jem, yes, very disappointed, but we can pick ourselves up, dust ourselves down, and go again. Andrew says referee yesterday reminded him of Porridge episode when the inmates took on the guests. He was a spitting image of Mr. Mackay. Is it Mackay? Mr. Mackay, I believe it is, isn't it? Matt Stannard, afternoon, everyone. Hope you're good, feeling positive despite the result. First time I've seen us give it a go. Should have won 4 or 5-2, but we didn't. Sadly, we didn't. And Ryan says the referee was a disgrace. Right, let's go ahead and bring in my contributor for the day, Mr. Hard Truth. Richard Moss, there he is. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, mate. You?
Yes, not too bad. Still spinning feathers over yesterday. Before we go any further, I would like to give our warmest wishes, our deepest prayers to a town legend, Mr. Kieran Dyer. Richard, I know you want to say a few words on that yourself.
Yeah, in the week they put the message out that he was having tests, and then the news broke this morning. I remember Martin being at his debut, I think 96, Crystal Palace, and then he came on, I think, a few days later at Notts Forest in the FA Cup third round, and he was a young lad, fantastic player, and we just thoughts and prayers of all, look, not just us, I think all town fans everywhere, let's hope that he makes a speedy recovery, a full recovery, and he's back doing what he loves, coaching the under-23s very soon.
Yes, absolutely. And I played the wrong clip at the start of the show. I don't know if anyone noticed, but infamous Quigley G certainly did, because he just asked, what happened to Tom Carroll? What has happened to Tom Carroll?
He had a hip flexor. And we've not seen him since, that must be about a month ago.
Yeah, it's a big hip flexor, that is. Right. before we go any further in the show, it is FM22 giveaway day. And I want to just quickly sort of do that, if you like, before we get into the weeds of talking about Ipswich Town, particularly as Mark, I can see Marcus in the VIP area already. This is your top 10 for FM22. It goes as far as Stephen Waring. Richard Moss misses out by 3 little
What's 1,
points.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10. All on 12 are out.
A great weekend for Stephen, Duncan, Anthony Steele, and Ben Moore. They just moved themselves a little bit further away from
Colchester. I had them 2-0, didn't I? 2-0, and they let Scunthorpe get a late goal. I'd have been in there.
You did. So I'm going to share the wheel of names right now because I do have that.
Good luck to everybody who's in the draw.
Let me just check what ads they're showing.
Can I look? Can I just look? Just before you do that, Bald and Blue. He's put anyone who is ill like Kieran and puts himself through SAS training deserves full respect because he went on that programme, Martin, knowing that he was ill, you know. So, look, hats off to him. And we'll probably touch on when Marcus comes on because Marcus, he's obviously played with him and, get his thoughts.
Absolutely. So there's your top 10. I just want to get this sort of, early doors a bit so we know who's won and I can sort it out from there. Are we ready? Shall I click this button?
Spin it.
Oh. I've put a little video wrap over the top of it, video game vibe. Paul Birchinell, there you go. Paul, message me on Facebook or DM me on Twitter or DM the Talking Town account on Twitter and we will get you sorted out with FM 2022.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. But a new week has begun. A new link is available. FA Cup weekend. We've got AFC Sudbury available to choose this week as well. But we go on. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for the next spot prize. Look at this platform crunch. Just keeps on giving to the fans.
You don't get a lot for free in this world. So
you do
keep watching it. And if you don't watch, tell all your friends to subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the socials. It's not Facebook now. What's the new name?
I'm sorry?
Facebook's been taken over, hasn't it?
Oh, is it Meta? I think.
Meta, yeah. Good stuff with Facebook.
I tell you what, I did like their virtual reality little clip they put up. I'd love to do that. Send your little minion off to work. What a great thing to do.
Matt Phillips.
Send him off to do a podcast. I'll be fair. He's not
Where
here
is he today? What is he doing today?
I don't know. Chinese kilt on? I've got no idea. He's bought Lambert Tartan. That's what he reckons, doesn't he? He reckons he's bought. He does reckon he's bought Lambert Tartan on holiday. But look, let's get into yesterday, shall we? Because it was a disappointing afternoon. Lots of things to discuss. Should we bring in our main man before we get into the weeds of Plymouth?
So if he does one more appearance, Marcus gets a.
He gets an introduction. Yeah, literally. He's one away. He's one away from an introduction. But
I think he's done enough to probably get.
Well, I think a Wembley goal. Being the best striker I've certainly ever seen in a blue shirt. I don't know. Does that qualify for an intro? Well, I think it probably does. You're right. But
talking of strikers, your main man yesterday for Leighton Orient scored a hat-trick and he got 2 assists. Aaron Drennan. Well done. Well done, Aaron.
All I've heard over the last 24 hours from people is, have you seen Aaron Drennan? It's almost like I was his mum at one point. The amount of messages I was getting saying, have you seen Aaron? I thought it was missing. Have you seen Aaron Drennan? I was like, no. What? He scored a hat-trick. I was like, oh, yeah, I know about that. Yeah, sadly. But we've got to the point now where if he passes wind, I think people text me and say, have you seen the news about Drennan? Wow. It's that point now. I'm just waiting for the Ollie Hawkins, John Nolan combination. Anyway.
While Marcus is coming on, I've got this lovely coaster of him.
Look at that. Sucking up. All you like, we'll get the job done.
TXU Energy.
How do you introduce this man then, Crunch? I think you're the perfect one to introduce a legend.
I like listening to him yesterday. He was obviously at the game, covering it with Brenner for Suffolk.
Met the goat.
And it'll just be good to get his thoughts on the game because obviously, like as fans, we have our thoughts. But as an ex-player who's played the game, it'd be good to get how Marcus thinks, not just yesterday, how we're sort of the season's going, what he thinks, and it'd also be good to. I've got something to ask him. I'd like to ask him about when Macaulay Bonne misses that sitter after 2 minutes. How do you get that out of your mind? How do you shift that?
Oh, okay. Well, introduce him, and you can. That's the first question you can ask him when he comes on.
Oh, Marcus, legend, scored 2 of the best goals I've ever seen for a Town player at Bolton away at the Reebok. Fantastic day. Scored the goal at Wembley, 19 goals in the Premier League season when we finished 5th, when we qualified for Europe. The legend that is Marcus Stewart. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Stewart. There he is.
Hi, guys.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, yeah. Really good. Yeah.
Great to be with you again. Thanks for coming on and speaking to us on it's a miserable Sunday here. How is it where you are?
It's blustery, showery. That's exactly how it is. I think it's all over the country, that kind of weather today, isn't it? I think
it's not. No, yeah, it's not pleasant. It really isn't. And as Crunch says there, Marcus, about Macaulay Bonne's chance, what did you make of it?
Which one? The first one you're on about?
Yeah, the first.
Listen, I thought about it overnight. A bit of reflection kind of does do you a world of good, because at the time, in the emotion of the game, and didn't really have the technology for replays, of course, on the radio. Seen it back since. The truth is, I think first and foremost, Coulson should have shot. Simple as that. I mean, I think he was afraid to miss. That's why he didn't shoot. That's, as the game went on, you kind of seen his confidence kind of ebb a little bit. So that's the first thing that should have happened. He should have had a bit of courage and shot himself and became a hero. Instead, I'm thinking he's thinking the worst, and what happens if he misses. That's what I think he's thinking. But off the back of that, when he didn't shoot, he then makes the right decision, because he pulls it, squares it to Macaulay, who's got a tap in. And does the right thing. I think he does do the right thing. I think it's good defending. That happens sometimes. There's times in a game when I've had a shot at a goalie and it's just hit him in the chest, and if it goes anywhere else, it's a goal. It's the same scenario with Macaulay's chest. It goes anywhere else, it's a goal. So I think he's done everything right, kept it low. And that's just how it is for strikers. I think, he has to have the mental strength. I'm sure he's got that. He's got goals in the bag. So he's got, it's not as if he's chasing his second, third goal and he's trying to get up to pace with his goals for the season. He's already got them. So he should be thinking, let's wait for the next chance and let's do it again. As long as you're getting in those positions to get the goals, I'd be more concerned if, Coulson's gone through on goal. He doesn't take a shot like he did when he should have done. And then he goes to square it, and Macaulay Bonne stood on the halfway line, like doing nothing. So he's putting himself in those positions to get goals. And you're going to miss some, you're going to score some. Unfortunately.
So you're telling us you wouldn't have passed? You'd have took that yourself?
Oh, 100%, yeah. No doubt about it. Yeah, no doubt about it. It's on my left foot. It's on his left foot. Why wouldn't you take the shot on?
Yeah, true.
It's not on my right foot. It's on his. He's coming in on his left foot. That's what Paul likes, the winger to come in on his left foot. Why wouldn't he take the shot on? I would have shot. Yeah.
Is that a defender's mentality though, coming into it a little bit too far up the pitch, in the sense of he's not taking the shot on because he's not confident enough to take that shot on, whereas Macaulay
maybe who knows? Like I said, he was thrown in because of whatever reasons, injuries and stuff like that, and illnesses. So maybe only you can ask that question to him. I don't know the guy. I only say what I see, and maybe that was the case. Lack of games, lack of knowledge of the position he was playing in. I can't ask him that question. You'll have to ask him one day.
Yeah, you mentioned, obviously, we were talking about Hayden Coulson on the pre-game show yesterday. We were a bit surprised, and I was a bit. I wasn't having it that he was going to be playing right wing. I thought that'd be a bit silly when you've got those attacking options that have probably got more experience through their playing career, be it youth football, teenage football, or even younger men's football, in the sense of they must have played right wing at some point as an attacker. Were you surprised when you were up in the commentary box when you realised Hayden Coulson was going to be playing that right attacking wing position?
I know Wes Burns wasn't there, and he was injured or ill. Aluko, of course, who's been brilliant when I've watched those games. But I was surprised that Selena didn't start earlier, or start the game instead of come on. I mean, at the time I was obviously with Brenner, and I kind of said the only reason I can think of why he's starting the game is because it gives him that balance that he likes a right-sided player that drifts on his left foot. Maybe a little bit of awareness of the left side of Plymouth attacking because he's a fullback, and it gives a bit of stability. And obviously, Wolfenden isn't a overlapping fullback; he's a defender.
Yeah.
So maybe they were just trying to protect that side a little bit. But as the game went on, I thought they actually weren't doing anything. They weren't defending properly, and they weren't really attacking properly. So that side was adding no value as a partnership to the team whatsoever. The cross comes from that side for the first goal. The second goal comes from that side from the left wing back cutting through people, not staying with runners. So I thought when Selena come on, he done all right.
Yeah,
he
absolutely. That's not. Sorry, Marcus. That's not being harsh on Hayden, is it, Rich? That's just being.
No, it's not. Listen, I know. You know what I'm like, guys. I'm so positive when it comes to players, and I don't want to. If you ever watch this, I don't want to kill him off, but you know, it was just the wrong time. He was probably out of position, and at the end of the day, when you have bad performances, you lose games. That's how you learn. You learn, or you go under, and you don't want to learn, and you don't want to be back out there again. You don't want to, you don't want to get back on the bike, so they say. So, the sooner he gets back on the bike and plays, or gets some training sessions in him, or gets a game, whether it's Tuesday or whether it's a reserve under 23 games, the better you feel about it. I bet he can't wait. I bet today he's woken up a little bit, along with a lot of the lads as well, kind of a bit down, a bit disappointed of what happened yesterday, maybe individually and as a team. That's what Sundays are for, to get over it. And then you go back in tomorrow, and the training ground is your sanctuary every Monday morning. It's time to get your head down, you train, and you don't think about things, and you get on with it. And then the game's forgot about. And the good thing about it, there's a game Tuesday. If they had to wait till next weekend for a game, and that's only in the FA Cup, you just want a league game coming. I know you want to play in the FA Cup, but you lose a league game, you want to get back into a league game. So I'm glad that they've got Tuesday to have the potential to put it right, because it'd be literally, I don't know what to do today. They might go in today, do something in the training ground, and it might be in tomorrow, or they might be off and then in tomorrow. So they've only got a 2-day turnaround, really, two and a half day turnaround. So I quite like that as a player. When you lost a game, you just want to get back in and put it right straight away, instead of waiting a week and festering on what might have happened, what might not have happened in the previous game.
What is that coach journey home like after a defeat like yesterday? Is it players sitting watching game film and learning where they perhaps weren't positionally right, where it didn't go well, or is it more of a you flush it, it's gone, you play cards, you watch whatever? What's that journey like home, particularly such a long one?
As a player, you want me to ask that question, or as a coach?
Both. It's both perspectives.
Okay, as a player, I wanted to do my own thing. Whether I would sit there and watch TV, there wasn't all these devices back in the day, so but I didn't want to. I wanted to do what I wanted to do, whatever that was. I didn't want a coach coming up to me and telling me this, telling me that, and that, to be fair, that didn't happen back then. So everyone's different. Whereas in recent years, when I've been a coach and time's moved on a lot, and technology has, I'd be at the front and the player would want to come down and I'd say, listen, just do me a favour. I said, have a look at it. But I said, just reflect on it. And then let's go again Monday morning and see how you feel, or give me a call tomorrow or whatever. I said, just have your own thoughts. After a game, I used to go down and sit in the front of the coach. You know where the coach driver is? I used to sit next to him. There's a little chair, isn't there, by the stairs. I used to go and sit there on my own. I quite liked self-reflection. So everyone's different though. And then there'd be other times I'd be happy and bouncing around the coach. It really depended on how you felt after the game. So there'd be a mixture of emotions and thoughts amongst those players that were on the way on the coach yesterday. I don't know how Paul would have handled it. Paul, probably being a game Tuesday, and his staff would have been some of them watching the game that Wickham just played and doing analysis straight away. That's because the turnaround of the game itself that's the time to do it. You're on a coach journey for 5 hours.
Mm.
Why not use that time? So they might have been doing the analysis as a staff. I would have thought some of them would have been, and then again, some of them might have been told, I want you to go through today's video of the game and maybe pull 1 or 2 players down. You don't know. It does change. Each coaching setup does change.
Perfect. Infamous Trick Reggie G. I saw you at Glasgow 09, Marcus, outside the 10 E17 were playing just after we heard Michael Jackson had died. One of the most bizarre moments of my life. Legend of the town.
I remember that day, Michael Jackson. Yeah, I do. I don't remember E17. I was probably asleep outside there a few minutes day long. No, I do remember Michael Jackson. Yeah, walking back to my tent with my wife at the time, thinking, "What's just happened?"
Yeah,
strange moment.
I think it's one of those moments in time, isn't it, Rich, where we all sort of remember where we were when the news came through. I was at London Liverpool Street on the way back from London.
Remember, I was at the O2. Do you remember when he done the press conference, Martin, at the O2 when he was going to do a tour? And I was there. I'll tell you what I was there. I was there to watch the X Factor tour. So don't bash me for that. But I was there, and we waited around in the foyer, and he was about 4 hours late for his press conference. We went to get something to eat in the end because it was absolutely crazy. I see him at Wembley in '97. Michael Jackson. Look, what an entertainer he was. Fantastic.
I never saw him live, sadly. Stephen Peck, we have to beat these top teams if we get out of this league, but that comes with hard work and belief in all the players going out on the pitch. Crunch, how did you see Coulson playing rugby? Because I know we had words, didn't we, pre-game in the WhatsApp group, and you were believing in the plan. So I
want to see what he can do on the pitch before I judge. I know that he played in number 10 position for Middlesbrough. When I met his dad at Lincoln, he showed me some goals from when he was a kid at Middlesbrough under 17s. He was playing off the right there, Martin, and just ghosted past players. But I think with him as well yesterday, he's not played no football for 6 weeks because he's been out injured. So to come back straight in that team in a position that it's not his true position, I believe Tuesday night he'll be back at left back because we're probably going to talk about Matt Penny, but I think he'll slot back in there. But I just like a penny for his thoughts for someone like Louis Barry, because we've got him on loan from Aston Villa, Marcus. He's come with a real big rap and he can't get a game. And yesterday, you're crying out for someone on that right-hand side. He's played there before. He must be thinking, what am I doing here? I can't get in the team. And Aston Villa are not going to be too happy because obviously they've loaned him out, wanting him to come to us and learn, and he can't get a game. And I think yesterday, if he's not going to start in a game like that, I agree with you, Selena probably should have played. And I know in hindsight it's a great thing, Martin, and you were correct in the end. But yeah, I didn't think Coulson done terribly. I thought he'd done okay. No. But I agree with Marcus, that side of the pitch, Wolfenden didn't get over the halfway line nearly. Well, he put that cross in second half, did he, when Bon had that shot. But he didn't get forward, and it was just a shame, wasn't it?
You said Penny there, Penny, for your thoughts. What did you make of, and I'll ask Marcus this in a second, what did you make of Matt Penny's performance, and what was he doing for the goal? Because as an offender, you never want to sort of stand still. You want to attack something. That's what I've always been taught anyway. You attack the ball. If you stand still, you allow the attacker that half a yard he needs.
I just thought he was poor all round. Even before that goal, he got shook off the ball. The one, where they broke after we'd gone down the end when Bond missed that chance, and then they broke away on the halfway line. I think it was Hardy just brushed him off. I just thought he was inconsistent, Martin, the whole game. Give the ball away, poor areas, but that was a real. I don't know. You switch off there at the far post. 2 minutes before half time, and it totally. I don't know what Marcus thinks. It totally changed the game for me because I thought then. I wouldn't say we were massively on top, but I thought we had them at arm's length. They had quite a bit of the ball, but they didn't really hurt us. And I thought, look, if we go in here at 1-0 at half time, we're all going to be happy. But it's obviously giving them a lift, gave the crowd a lift, and then it was that 10-minute spell that really cost us the game.
Yeah, I don't think Penny had a particularly good game yesterday either. I just thought he was, if you look at Conor Chaplin, he's not the biggest of guys, is he? But he uses his body really well. And very rarely gets shrugged off the ball. If he does, he has a bit of determination to not get knocked off the ball. I thought Penny a couple of times yesterday was a bit weak around his body and was passing. I think they targeted him as well for diagonal balls, and I don't think he won a lot of headers in 1v1 duels. But But going forward, I think he does add quality, and I think that's what Paul Cook likes about him. And when I've seen him before, he's done all right. He's done all right defensively, attacking. It was just yesterday I thought he wasn't on it when it was coming to do his main job as a fullback, and that's defend first. Anything else you do in the game is a bonus. So if you can get forward, that's a bonus. First thing you have to do as a fullback is defend first. So coming to the goal, I mean, his body shape's out of position as it is. First and foremost, he's not even square on. He should be up. Like Gary Neville used to say, you've got to be like an owl as a fullback. You've got to be constantly looking at, and he just looks like he's square looking at the goalkeeper almost. So that's the first thing that's wrong. Second thing is, if his body shape's in a pretty decent position, he's kind of square shoulders to the 6-yard box, he can go and attack that ball, because as soon as the ball leaves the winger's foot and it's an in-swinging cross, as we know, he can just go and attack that goal, that ball, and he's from where he stood, he makes 2 or 3 yards up. And is it Conor Grant who got the goal? Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
Jeff got.
Was it Jeff got? Jeff got.
Yeah, I mean, it's Conor Grant who got in front of him, wasn't it? Was it Conor Grant? No, it wasn't. No, was it Joe Edwards?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
Joe Edwards got in front of him, and then obviously Jeff got put the ball in net. And I think the fact that he reacts a bit quicker, Penny, and he closes that space off and heads the ball away, then he probably gets a foul because Edwards is too late himself, because he committed to the run himself. So listen, it's a basic job of a fullback. You have to defend your far post. That is one of the basic jobs as a defender, and he didn't do that yesterday. But again, in other games, I've seen him do really well, defending and attacking. So something. He wasn't quite focused on his defensive responsibilities at times yesterday in different situations. And the key moment was that one where he got the goal.
Is that a symptom of modern fullbacks, though? We say your first job is defending. Is that how it's still seen? Because many fullbacks these days.
I agree. The art of it's gone. Kyle Walker, for instance, he's got better at it. But back in the day, I'm sure I haven't got any clips, but I remember him sometimes not tucking around enough and not defending his far post enough and not doing the job a fullback should do. But I think if you look at recent games in England, for instance, Man City, he's got better at that. I mean, he's got pace to burn, so he can stay a little bit wider, can he? Because he can recover into that area if he needs to, alongside his centre half. But I think his positioning is a lot better than it used to be. So from Penny's point of view, it's not something you can't fix.
Absolutely. We've got a question for yourself here from infamous Gregory G. Would you try Bonham Pig as a front two, even though Cookie won't entertain it? And listening to you both yesterday, you and Brenner, discuss the fact he won't go to a 2 up top was quite amusing, because when the commentary team was saying, well, he's not going to do that, is he? You know what the opposition managers are thinking in the dugout, but would you ever try the 2, Pig and Bonham?
What would I do? The truth is that it depends what players I've got in front of me, but I know Paul Cook very well, and I've played against his sides so many times, and he never changes. Never. Maybe he might bring, like, brought Burgess on the other day to go 3 at the back, didn't he, for the last few minutes against Fleetwood?
Yeah.
Oh, he has done that. But when it comes to attacking, he'll bring like for like on in like for like positions. I mean, it'd be 4-2-3-1. That's how it works. Yesterday, I don't think he was blessed with attacking options going onto the pitch. That was his problem, really. As would I do it, I don't know. I can't tell you because I'm not in that situation.
But you are obviously a coach with a growing reputation in the game. So if you were opposite Paul Cook, does that make your job just a little bit more easier, knowing he's not going to be switching it up at all, regardless of what's going on?
Listen, it does make it easier when it comes to set plays and stuff like that. When you analyse it and you prep for the game in terms of how they're going to play, you haven't got to go through they might turn to this, they might go to this, then you got to tell them something different. It does make it easy when it comes to that. But on the flip side of that, it makes it easier for the players that are at the club. Yes,
they know their roles. They know their roles,
and the longer they're there for. Who let the dogs out?
That's Rich. He's always got the dogs on the go. Good old Rich. Good old Rich. How did you rate Piggott when he came on yesterday? Because obviously he's not a player that's started many games at the football club since arriving in the summer. How did you rate his performance when he came on for what, 10, 15, 20 minutes?
He did what he had to do. It's a tough job having to do, be a striker, but then to go in, your defensive role is to sit on the deep line midfield player. Because you've got an extra 20 yards to run to the goal.
Yeah.
Seriously, and that can be a big problem. I think sometimes strikers get it wrong. That's why I think midfielders play in there instead of strikers, because strikers tend to go and sit on the back of him. When I was told to do that job, I was told to sit on the back of the deep line midfielder, but not go goal side of him, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Always take a space up between the deep line midfield player and the two centre halves. So you're kind of there to pick his pocket. You're not there to mark him.
Yeah,
if that makes sense to you.
You're playing the space, aren't you?
I'm close enough to him where I can pick his pocket, and then I'm still 5-10 more yards up the pitch where I can get and join the striker or get into the box. Because it's quite a hard run for him to make when he's 5 yards goal side of the defensive line midfield player, and then he's got to run an extra 15 yards to get in the goal itself. It's hard enough getting across someone or getting in the box when you're actually up against the defenders and get some space. So I'm sure he's not used to that role, but over the years, he's experienced enough now. You would have been asked to do that role, and different managers were ask you to do it in different ways. Paul Cook, obviously, yesterday wanted him to go and goal side and mark him. So yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one for him. That's why I think it suits a midfield player more, because he's used to running past midfield players and then into the box, whereas a striker isn't used to seeing defenders in front of them and not midfield players. So yeah, it can be a bit. Especially with a lot of counter-attacks, it can be some long-busting runs for you to get up to the box and then have to recover again and mark that deep line midfield player. So you're talking running forwards, you've got an extra 20 yards, and if it doesn't come to you, you've got to run back an extra 20 yards. So it is quite a tough role to play.
And that's the role we've seen Wes Houlihan make a career out of, isn't it, Rich? Because you're causing conflict between the defensive midfield player and the centre-half. Who's picking him up? And if you have that split second of no one picks you up, that's when you can come alive and pick the pocket, as Marcus is saying there, isn't it?
Piggott, for me, when he's done his best work when he was at AFC Wimbledon, he was that main striker, Martin. He scored, 22 goals last season? Look, the fisherman there in the chat, this is for you, Marcus. What is he going to do with 10 to 12 minutes, having not played much? He's coming on, really, he's not really going to get warm, is he, when he's on there?
No, I mean, 10, 12 minutes is, God.
It's odd.
It's a tough one, you're just hoping that. I think what Paul's open for, he's put Selena on one side, and obviously he's brought Edwards on the other side, and there was some sustained pressure. I thought that we looked a bit more like scoring. The game was kind of going away from us at one point, and then the subs came on, and it kind of came back in our favour a bit. So I think he's hoping there's going to be crosses in the box, and then he's going to get at the end of one of them. That was, I think, his hoping. It's a different way of getting a goal. Connor Chaplin links play up and drifts out wide, drifts into midfield, drifts out the other side, runs past bomb. He's almost got a free roll on his hands without the ball. With the ball. Without the ball, he's obviously got to do a job on the deep line midfield player. That's his role. And I think Connor Chaplin's done that most of his career. Paul would know him better than me, because obviously he had him at Portsmouth as well. So it was a different way of attacking the goal, I assume. It wasn't more like link-up play through the middle. It's more, get the ball wide and get crosses in the box. Because if you think of it, Edwards went out right. Wolfenden ain't going to get past him. That's why you put him out right, because he's right-footed and will probably go on the outside and get a crossing. Whereas on the left-hand side, they were a bit more attacking than overlapping. So he had an option of a right foot in-swinging corner for a cross from Selena. And obviously, if Penny was to overlap, there's a left-footed cross as well from the outswinger. So there was opportunities to get crossing from both sides. So I could see why he brought Edwards on to the right-hand side, because he's a bit better at 1v1 situations and getting down the line and get crosses in. And Wolfenden ain't going to get on the outside of him.
But we did, didn't we?
Thank you, Neil. £5. Thank you very much, mate.
Second half, Marcus. I do agree there. The game was drifting away a little bit. And when he made that change, he brought Selena on. I thought for the last, 20 minutes he was on, I thought we looked the better team then, and we looked like we were going to score. But it is such small margins, because if you look at that game overall, we've had 4 absolute gilt-edged chances, haven't we, really? Bond's had 2. You've had your Harper one. The one I thought was, I know Bonds won early on, but Edwards' chance, 12 yards out, centre of the goal, he's not even hit the target there. So you're just going to have to take your chances. And look, we can't just sit here and moan about everything because we are top scorers in the league. We've scored in every game, and there is a lot of things that are right with the team, but then we can't keep making the same excuses over and over again. We keep letting 2 goals in, again yesterday. And it just, that is why we are at the minute. We've won 5, drawn 5 and lost 5 because we're just mid-table. And if this continues, I know we have improved, we will probably finish 10th, 11th at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, goal conceding goals is a big problem, as Paul kind of knows that. He said in his interview yesterday, we have the same problems at 3 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, that we do at 3 o'clock. And he means conceding goals. So he knows when it comes to that. In terms of the chances, I thought Edwards' chance was quite a tough one because ball's come to him. He should have taken it first time, but he's had the touch. He's given the defender a bit of chance to kind of close the space down. So he hasn't got any space to put the ball on either side of the goal. So he maybe snatched it a little bit as well because he was under a bit of pressure. That's why he snatched it. But you got to think the best ones were the Coulson one for me, and obviously Raheem Harper's one, his one-on-one. Those ones, you forget about that one, and you forget about Macaulay Bond's chance at the end when the ball just fell at his feet and he's kind of scuffed it into the keeper's hands head high. So I think the game
was one fell to the wrong person, Marcus. He didn't look confident when he went through, and he didn't. I don't know what he was doing really, because he didn't really get a good strike away on the ball, did he? And it's
sorry?
Harper's one when he went through there.
Yeah, both times, they've just gone too close to the goalkeeper, and the closer you get, less chance you're going to get to put in the corner. Yeah, I don't know if you see Marcus Rashford's goal last night against Tottenham. He does it early. He sees the space, he puts it in the corner. If he takes another touch in and he's 5 yards close to that goalkeeper, it makes it so much harder for themselves. There's a reason why keepers come out and close the space down when you're running through on goal. It's because they want to close the space down at their angles either side. So the key is do it a bit earlier. Get out your feet, do it earlier. You can go on to I think it was
you did it at Reebok when you went around UCS. How many times did you go around them?
I don't know. It's about 3. But no, so there's different scenarios. You either take the space and you do it early, or the closer you get to the goalkeeper, you've got to think about maybe squaring it, like Coulson. So that's the right idea. Then maybe going around the goalie because the space is in behind him, or maybe chipping it over the top of him. There's the 3 options you got. But take it early. If not, go around him, chip it over him, square it. And Coulson did the right thing yesterday.
Harper didn't really do anything though. I've seen it back, and I don't know what he. I don't know if he
thought
he
was target either, was it? It wasn't going to hit
the
target.
It wasn't.
I haven't seen it back, so I can't comment. I haven't seen it back.
I felt sorry for Harper coming on. It's always hard coming on as a player to a game that's already got quite the flow. Tom says, just got home from the game yesterday, and I'm sorry, but Bonner to score his 2 chances and pennies to be dropped after that game. It was painful to watch. Lots of conversation in the chat about the referee. A lot saying he was poor, a lot saying he was great. Well, not great, but he wasn't as poor as some are saying. I didn't think he was that bad. How did you see it from your position in the commentary box?
No, I didn't think he was that bad either. I thought, Morsey and Evans were trying their hardest to press the ball and get in their faces, and they were giving a lot of free kicks away. Morsey done a few first half and got away with the yellow card, and then second half he done a couple more. The referee gave him a warning. Then he did it again. I thought the referee did all right actually, and did what he had to do. So, no, I think it's a fair point. I think even Paul said in his post-match interview that they gave too many free kicks away in difficult areas. So that tells me he hadn't moaned about the referees, moaned about normally a manager would moan about the referees, moan about the fact that they gave too many free kicks away. So that tells me the referee's done a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on, Crunch.
I think that's where it's different. When you used to play the game, and then we're supporters, and you're getting frustrated, aren't you? You're there watching, you're 2-1 down. But Morsey was, like you say, the game against Fleetwood, Marcus, I think he'd given away 4 fouls, and then he got booked on his 5th one. And he was the same yesterday. And if he's not careful before long, he'll be getting a red card somewhere along the line because he's
Yeah, I mean,
niggling.
they're not like red card fouls, are they? They're petulant,
Totting them up.
enthusiastic fouls on players. He's obviously been told before the game, right, get in their face and stop them playing. If they play under pressure, that's fair enough, but try and make them play under pressure. And he's just done it, and it didn't come off. So, but at the end of the day, you don't want your midfielders to stop doing that, because that's the difference I seen yesterday in the team. Was I thought they pressed a lot better. They wouldn't give midfielders the time on the space, time on the ball. There's times when you can't get the press on. You've got to be really good in your shape and cut lines off and watch runners from deep. That happens, but I thought they got it right yesterday. It's right now. It's time. I can see the back of his number. He's running back towards his own goal. I can get in his face a bit here. They just got it right. They were just crossing the line a little bit, which gave them a couple of fouls and took a little bit of pressure off of Plymouth at times.
Yeah, it's walking that line, isn't it, Crunch, that Morsey does all the time.
And you don't want him to stop doing it. You just have to probably rein him back 10%. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fair to say, Marcus, our only consistency is our inconsistency at the moment. As a coach, that must be absolutely bang your head against the wall bad, because it's like you can't do much when it's or can you when your only consistency is inconsistency, which it is at the moment.
I mean, yeah, of course you can. I mean, for me, I remember having a lad called Lee Brown, who's now at Portsmouth, captain in Portsmouth. He captained the game the other day. He had problems defending 1v1 in far post and 1v1. But on a Monday, Monday's a warm down day. That's your day to, like, instead of doing a warm down with certain players, you just do a half an hour working on things as a warm down, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I used to do loads of stuff with Lee, defending the far post, and because it's a tough one, when that ball's coming over the top of everyone, and you got to head the ball away, but your senses can tell that there's someone behind you and they're going to come in and you're going to get a clattering. I don't know if you ever played football, guys, and that's happened to you. I've been in that situation before on corners. I'm thinking, I've got to head this ball away, and I know I'm going to get clattered, and I might get hurt bad. And that's the kind of thing a fullback psychologically has to go through. So you have to kind of get them in the right space and just give them, I'll say, repetitive stuff and put them in that situation where they're stretching for a ball. Do it without an opposition player first, and then bring in one of the youth team and say, "Go on, I'll wait to both attack that ball." And Lee did get better at that. So you can work on it. You really can. And if you keep working on it with someone and they don't do it and they can't do it, then you've got to change the personnel. But the players are there. You've got to give them a chance. You can't just bring him in and then he's made a mistake on the far post. Better get rid of him. Give him a chance to get it right, and that's either by showing him. If he doesn't get it by showing him, then you have to do it with him. And then if he doesn't do it, then off you go, because you're not good enough, or you're not listening, or you don't want to do it.
Whichever one it may be. Absolutely.
I'm sure it's not. I'm sure he seems a decent lad, so I'm sure he wants to learn. If I was him, I'd be saying, "Listen, how can I do this? How can I do better this with my coaching staff?" And they have to come up with a solution.
Touching on that. That's an interesting thing Marcus says about the coaching staff, and we've had it on here before, Marcus. We've got no defensive coach at Town. We've got Paul Cook, like the manager, midfielder. Gary Roberts used to be an attacker. Franny Jeffers. Do you think that is something that we might need to add?
Yes, 100%. I think when I was with Darryl at Bristol Rovers and Walsall, I think it's really important. And he said to me, "Marcus, I like to have me. I'm a midfield player," which was him, the coach. You, an attacking player, and I want another member of staff who was a defender. Why would you not have that? I just don't, because I don't know. If I was to go back in the football club and it was me, manager, I'd have the same setup. Me, midfield player, centre half. Simple as that.
He had one of your ex-teammates, didn't he? He's been watching Town a lot, John McGreal. He was been rumoured, and he's not back in the game in management yet. He's bringing someone like him in. It'd be. I've said it before.
Why not?
I think that'd be.
Why not?
Gary Butcher's still there. What's Butcher doing? You've certainly got enough quality defenders to choose from over this club's illustrious history.
Proven coaches, as well, not just defenders who played.
Yeah,
John McGraw's done brilliantly at Colchester, hasn't he? And then he went to Swindon and was gone within 2 weeks because of the political situation there, I would have thought. I'm sure Colchester would love him back at the moment.
I bet they would, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, what a mistake that was. Big mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that.
If you think about it, from Colchester's point of view, the same kind of thing happened with George for 2 or 3 seasons. He kind of got in the playoffs. It didn't work. Imagine if Ipswich would have got rid of him there, and then they stuck with him. I just don't understand why Colchester didn't do the same. It wasn't if they were doing bad under John. They just weren't getting. They just kept missing out each year. Stupid decision, and I'm pleased that they are where they are because he's my mate, John. He's done all right.
Absolutely. Well, obviously, great friend of yours. But I think they wanted to change the way they were operating. But even then, I felt McGrew himself could have operated.
What did they want to change? Tell me what they want to change.
More youth integrated. I don't know. Honestly, I'm only going with what I remember hearing at the time from, because he does like a statement, doesn't he, Crunch?
Robbie Cowley. Oh, my Lord. That's one a week, isn't it?
It's one a day.
And then look, Facebook user John McGrew, he never had the funds at Colchester as well. So I don't know. And he done really well, like Marcus said. So I don't know what they're really expecting. What are they thinking Hayden Mullins is going to do?
Who's a good coach as well. Yeah, a good young coach in his own right, and going to be a great manager, I think, it's at one point. But right now, it's a big job. Marcus, Plymouth, top of the table. Lots of chatter. My frustration is I felt the game was there to be won, and Plymouth weren't that special. But how did you see the league leaders? Were you impressed with them? Or
they're solid, aren't they? They've got a really mobile midfield players with Kamara and I'm forgetting the 2 guys' name. But he got Ryan Broom was one of my ex-players at Bristol Rovers as well. It's got really mobile midfield players. They've got wing backs that become wingers and get in the far post, and 2 of them scored a goal yesterday. So they've got 2 dangerous centre forwards. Jeffcott hasn't kind of got far in yet, but he was the man last year. They got goals in them. I think they're 2nd or 3rd behind us in terms of top goal scorers as well. And they've got a solid back three. So listen, they've got all the nucleus to be a really good team because they're scoring goals and not conceding loads. They've got. What I like about them as well, they've gone behind quite a few times this season and come back and got a result out of the game. I don't know the stats, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're up there in the top 5 in the Football League in terms of great points gained from losing positions. So they've got that momentum about them at the moment, but that can change in football. Ipswich had that momentum for the last 5 games, unbeaten, and then go and lose yesterday. It's time to then create another one and go again. That's what Paul said today and yesterday in his interview, and he's right. You have to try and do that again, maybe for longer. Plymouth are on that at the moment with 15 games. They lost the first game of the season and then won the previous 15, I think it was. So they're on that roller coaster in terms of momentum at the moment. They're going forwards and nothing's really stopping them scoring goals, coming from behind, going in front, winning comfortably. They're in that good momentum. So at some stage that will stop, and that's when the true test is for me, for any club, any team. But it's wide open up there, as we know. It is wide open. Sunderland losing 5-1 against Rotherham, so Rotherham are back in it now. They've had really good experience over the past 2 or 3 years of getting relegated, going up, getting relegated, going up, getting relegated. That's their previous 4 seasons up until now. So they've got a bit of experience. The manager's got a bit of experience of being in that league, and there's going to be ups and downs. For me, it's about being in the running with 10 games to go. And if you're in the running, you've got a great chance. You just got, if you can, go unbeaten in them 10 games or win 8 out of the 10, you've got a great chance of getting an automatic promotion. And I think there'll be 6 or 7 teams in that running with 10 games to go to get that automatic spot. So momentum's key for me. And Plymouth, they're up there at the moment. It's too early to say whether they'll be up there at this time. In early April. It's too early to say.
You've obviously got to look to another hard test on Tuesday in Wickham. As you sort of bring the show to a round, and we let you go, and we bring in George to discuss his song. Does yesterday's result put a lot more pressure on Tuesday? Have you got to go and win?
Listen, I think you have to go and get a good performance. So obviously a win is key away from home. a tough place to go. You're going to get a barrage of balls down your neck. You got to win second balls. You got to win your first contact. You got to defend set plays. It's a totally different mindset to cutting lines, to stop the ball being threaded through the lines. It's about stopping the ball at source from strikers. Can they stop that ball coming forward first and foremost? If not, then the ball goes forward. Can you win the first contact? If you can't, then it's about, can the midfielders get on the knockdowns, the second balls, and then earning your right to play your game. That's what the game will be about on Tuesday. And if Ipswich can do that and get possession of the ball, then I can't see Wycombe getting very close to them. The good thing about playing Tuesday is obviously what's happened. We lost and we want to get back on the saddle again and get back into the game and get a result. That's a good thing. Another good thing for me is that they conceded 2 late goals against Fleetwood. Now, that will feel like a defeat to them because they're 3-1 up and they're thinking, right, that will feel like a defeat to them. So psychologically and morally amongst the group, the manager has to pick them up even though they've got a result because it would feel like a loss. So that hopefully might go in their favour in terms of the psychological, so how they feel psychologically going into that game on Tuesday. It might work in our favour.
Absolutely. Rich, anything before we allow this absolute legend?
I just want to say to Marcus, so we had the show last night, the cricket show, and we had Colin on, and you met him yesterday after the game, Colin and his wife, and he said, you are an absolute legend, Marcus. They were waiting for the bus.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, and you came over and had a picture with him, and Colin just wants to, he said he'd like to thank you. For,
that was great. I mean, the car park was really full, and I wasn't getting out soon, put it that way. So I just seen him on the bus stop, and I thought they were just waiting on the bus stop because it was raining and it was under a bit of shelter. So I just went over and said hello to him. So no, great. I think his daughter or his friend's daughter was playing today.
That was Eloise King. That was her dad as well. He was there. They're playing down there.
That's right. Yeah. So I was just having a chat with them about that, and they were staying in Plymouth, and they were coming back today. So yeah, I wasn't going to get out of the car park quickly, so I thought I'd have a 5-10 minute chat with them. Didn't know who they were, just thought I'd go over and have a chat.
What a hero. An absolute hero. I love that, don't you, Rich? Absolutely just love that. A legend of the town just walks over and says hello. Love it. Marcus, thank you so much for stopping by today. Thanks for your time.
No problem, guys.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. How have you spent it?
In the background, I've got the Man City Chelsea FA Cup semi-final on, Women's FA Cup semi-final on.
Norwich Leeds.
I'll probably put that on in a minute, but let's hope that they get the worst points tally in Premier League history. Yeah.
Here's hoping. We're hoping we'll play.
When you coming down to a game, Marcus?
Huh?
When you come to Portman Road for a game this season?
I'd love to. I haven't been back. I was speaking to Dan recently, Dan Palfrey, and he's invited me back on the 18th of December for Sunderland, but I don't think I can make it. So he's just said, just let me know any other game you can come to. I will, because I haven't been back there since I played there for Sunderland, I think, once. And
was that the time you missed that penalty on purpose?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, when I was a bit poo-poo time. I was a bit scared, if I'm honest, taking that penny. It's the only time in my history I've taken a penny.
You can't tell when you step up. You hide it.
I was. So that's the only time I've been back. So I haven't been back as a fan. So it would be great to go back there and just enjoy the occasion.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you back. So here's looking forward to your return. But thank you for your time today. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Thank you, guys. You have a good Sunday too. Bye, everyone. Keep the faith. Bye.
Keep the faith. That's the key. Keep the faith.
What a guy.
Obviously,
what a guy.
Yeah, absolutely, what a guy. Don't forget, Talking Town Extra Time tomorrow, 8:30. There'll be a live link for you guys and girls to get involved, to have your say after yesterday, Plymouth ahead of Wycombe, after listening to what Marcus has said there. Lots to digest from a professional coach and ex-player's point of view, Rich. But obviously, something else that caught the attention of yourself and me and every other town down this week was a certain song. We've got the artist coming in now. Do you want to introduce this person?
Yeah, I've got to drop this. Di Dingley, who's part of the Bury Supporters Club, she sent it to me on Facebook, and then it's just literally gone everywhere, you know. I think, look, we'll get George on. I think he's in Spain. He is in Spain. Soaking up the sun over there. But look, listen, it's a great song. It's got to be played at Portman Road as far as I'm concerned. You know, singing the blues. When was that? 97, 98.
Yeah.
We need something new. You know, you need a new song. I know you don't like Sweet Caroline at the end of the game. They played that everywhere. You know, they were playing it at the end of the game yesterday at Plymouth. So let's get behind George. And if you're watching, go on YouTube and listen to the song, share it to your friends, and let's make sure this song is played at Portman Road, and not just once, part of a match day.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, let's bring in George Baker, the artist. George, welcome in.
Hello.
Hola, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. Never done a podcast in my life before, so be gentle with me. I'm going to enjoy this. I think this.
Well, you're stepping into big shoes there, having just got following the legend that is Marcus Stewart.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What did you make of Marcus there? You obviously, I know you've been listening. What did you make of Marcus?
Yeah, I love listening to Marcus and you fellas talking the technical, side of the game, and maybe I wouldn't be qualified to talk about all that, but yeah, I'll stick to the to terraces and being a bloke who wrote the song.
Yes, and what a song it is. Where did you talk us through this song? Where did you write it? When did you write it? And what's obviously the inspiration is Ipswich, but what's the true inspiration behind it all?
I wrote it over about the last year, been putting it together, and I guess I was beginning to feel that singing the blues didn't quite do it for me anymore,
Old hat, isn't it? It's old hat.
It was never our song. It was a Man City song, and they started it years ago. City win, United lose. That was the thing. What we got when others lose. I'm not all that on that. It was a great song. Let's face it. We've had some great times with that song. That's the club's official song. There's some brilliant moments with that song 20 years ago or whatever in Marcus's time, and everything has to change. The club has changed. We've got new owners. We talk about the new era and the new dawn, and unfortunately, singing the blues kind of reminds me now a little bit of those years when we sat there at the start of a game and encouraged to clap, singing the blues. And we knew that the football was going to be awful. It was going to be awful season after season. So in a way, I kind of associate it with negative things. When we had those, really dark days of a toxic atmosphere. Let's keep singing the blues. I mean, goodness me, that's not for me to think that I would replace the club's song or be the guy who wrote the club's song. I just think we need a new song. And if all I do is provoke someone else to do the same thing, if Ed Sheeran writes us a song or whatever, then great. We just need something. I'm just trying to provoke a little bit of debate on it, I suppose, really. And I had enough confidence in what I'd written to think that, it wouldn't be completely hopeless. My favourite song, actually, my favourite football song is, of course, Three Lions. And it was a brilliant, brilliant song, okay, because it was Lightning Seas. And it was Baddiel and Skinner.
Yeah.
Other football people are in tune with football fans and the mood of the people and everything else, right? And they came out with this brilliant production of a song, which we had 25 years with Three Lions, and it had to stop at some point. Well, we got 60 million people in this country, and we couldn't put together another song in 25 years to follow on. I don't know why. So we got Sweet Caroline, didn't we? And my God! And as you just said, yesterday I was watching the game live, but I had to have the Plymouth commentary side of things. And like you say, at the end of the game, like us and everybody else, we won the game. All the Plymouth fans, Sweet Caroline. I think, goodness me. Yeah, I was not. I almost did that in a kind of a Devon pirate accent or whatever, but that would be rude to do that. Yeah.
And I do the bad accents round here. Ask everybody, and I do the bad accents round here. I'm famous for it. Absolutely famous for it. Yeah, but you're absolutely right, though. And you need something that's yours. And you need something that's got that meaning behind it. And I've spoken to many people about the song, and everyone has said the same thing. And I think Crunch will agree with this. It's invoked an emotion, a memory, and brought the tears to the eyes. Is that fair to say, Rich?
Yeah, I think I'll just say, George, it gives me goosebumps when I listen to it. And watching the video is also great. You know, with all that old footage. And I think it'd be great, hopefully next season, if we had a screen at Portman Road, which a lot of these teams do now, with that song playing, with the footage on the screen, I think that would be absolutely fantastic. But look, it is. We all started as young fans. Our dads took us to the football. This is how it all started. Now I take my kids. I want them when they're older and they have kids to take their kids, and so on and so on. Look, great song. And you obviously started back in the 60s when we were the best team in the country.
Yeah, I was very, very lucky young lad. My dad worked on the railways and nobody had cars much in those days. And I went to a lot of away games that season, not only saw the home games, because a railway guy used to get, like they call a privileged ticket, you see. And, you used to get free or reduced travel. But a railwayman would never clip another railwayman's ticket. So if you had a ticket to London, you could use it over and over again because nobody clipped it. So, yeah, we went on the train to see a lot of games, not just the league games, but we lost to Norwich, unfortunately, in the fourth round of the Cup. We drew at Carrow Road, went to that game. We had several replays in the League Cup against somebody, Luton, I think. I remember going to Highbury to see some cup replay against Luton. So I was so lucky to be around at that time. I first went to the ground when I was probably about 8 years old, late 50s. And it was that season when I just kind of turned about 10, when I really knew about football, that I was able to appreciate it. And the great night when we went to White Hart Lane and we beat the mighty Spurs double winning team, Danny Blanchflower and Jimmy Greaves and Bobby Smith and Dave Mackay. And we went to, that game. It was a night game. I always talk about the fact that a load of guys my age bunked off school to go, on the trains up to the game. And talking about football songs, to hear that Keep Right Onto the End of the Road being sung, 50,000 people at White Hart Lane was, absolutely amazing. I was so lucky to be there. My dad went completely spare, mental. It was just wonderful times. And yeah, that was a great song, wasn't it? Keep Right Onto the End of the Road, which we used to sing. Well, you don't remember. We used to sing it in the 50s and the 60s. But that wasn't our song either. It was a Birmingham song.
Birmingham City, yeah, that's their song.
Yeah, and it still is, of course. It's still, the Birmingham song. Good song. Somebody said that you need to have a lively song to be a football song, but I'm not always sure about that. Never Walk Alone isn't exactly up tempo.
I think a football song is what seeps through to the football fans' conscious and subconscious, and I think this song does that. As I've said, it's certainly invoked many emotions into fans. And have you had any contact from the football club yet? Have they reached out?
No. No. I mean, I'm kind of overwhelmed by the things that you're saying about the song and some of the people have said. I think we need probably to give it time and for a lot more fans maybe to listen to it. I'm a little bit concerned that it's the older fans maybe who enjoy the nostalgia, and that the younger fans, I don't know. The thing that strikes me is that older fans say to me, they ought to sing that at Portman Road. Who are they? I think they're thinking we'll sit on the halfway line, old codgers like me, sit there quiet, and the people who do the singing, ought to be singing that song. The boys behind the goal. The question I have to ask is, okay, it's great that some people have picked up on it and enjoying it, but will it actually works for the boys? Like I was a long time ago, going mental, having a few beers, going crazy before the game. We tend to rely on them to get the singing going.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, there's another thing to think about. It was in the 70s. there was Ipswich song just to the tune of Amazing Grace. You know, people just go, Ipswich, Ipswich. And I think that used to go all the way around the ground, because I think some of the more sort of self-conscious older people could sit there and go, sort of, Ipswich, Ipswich, you know. And that was pretty remarkable, you know, the atmosphere. But picking up on your point about this, the culture of the club, you know, you look at Millwall, okay? They've got a song. I don't know exactly how it goes, but when they score, they play this song. It's let them all come down to the den, let them come, let them come. Right, and they sing it. Now, it's like, you know, a challenge, let them come. It's not a welcoming thing, is it? Let them come down.
No.
So, and, you know, and it's let them come, you know. And, you know, that is, whoever wrote that song for Millwall, you know, that is a very, very unwelcoming atmosphere for the opposing teams, the opposing fans, and they kind of, you know, caught the spirit of that. And, you know, that's a good point you're making about the actual club and the culture of the club. But, you know, Ipswich fans, you know, we may not be a Premier League team, but, you know, I think we're Premier fans. The following that we get away from home, you know, I love the fact that I've never been that comfortable with being called the Tractor Boys because of the age I am, and we didn't used to have that. But I love the fact that there was a fans who decided that. You know, they come up with this funny thing, because you talk about going to London, you know, you go to London games. It happened when I was a kid. You know, where's your horse and cart, mate? Where's your tractor? Where's your horse and cart? And, you know, they're all taking the mick out of, you know, and we turned that round. And when we were beating, you know, these London teams away 1-0 to the Tractor Boys. And, you know, like our current nickname, or our nicknames actually come from the fans, you know, with their, you know, so.
Yeah, good. I agree. Yeah, you're right. We turned what was the London fans, or fans from anywhere really, trying to have a jab at us, and we turned it into ours, and we owned it, and it's become partner with the club. But George, in all honesty, your song is fantastic. Congratulations, well done on writing such a song. Rich, before we let this artist go and enjoy the Spanish sunshine, I'm sure it's sunny outside wherever you are. Is there anything else you want to ask, want to add?
When they used to do 1-0 to Trent, it was Marcus Stewart. That was the season when we were in the Premier League, wasn't it, George?
It was,
you know,
yeah.
when we got, and it was a bit of a Mickey take, really, wasn't it? But then we turned it around. But yeah, look, fantastic song. And if you're out there, like I say, share the song. If you're on social media, share it. Let's get it. Let's get the club to play it at Portman Road. I'm gonna personally, I'll contact the club, and I want that played at Portman Road, and I want it played more than once. I want it played on a match day. You know, some of the dirge that they play down there at the minute. Let's get this played.
Can I just say one thing that you know, how it translates to be a song, you know, for the stadium. You know, I've written the song straight. You know, there's no choirs on there or anything. It's just me singing, okay. But you know, it is possible to do remixes. I know a guy who would do remixes so that we could just, you know, focus on the chorus parts. Nice. That little clip of the Beatles, you know, that we do at the moment, that seems to be quite popular, Hey Jude, has got some amazing, that track has got all those people singing. There's loads of percussion and things going on, which, you know, is that could, you know, you could do a remix of the song with that kind of thing if that's what was needed, you know, if that's what people wanted. So, or, you know, if anybody wants to cover the song, that's the thing, you know, I mean, I'm not precious about it at all. I haven't released the song, you know that. I was asked if I wanted to release it and have it published. But if I did, you wouldn't be able to play it, would you? You can't on a podcast play published work. So no. If I accept this little record deal and got the song published, we couldn't share it amongst ourselves. You know, the whole thing of doing this is my fans, with, you know, my fans, with the fans. So. You know, it's I've leave it. You know, not publish it. See what happens. See if people like it. People like it. Fantastic. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Lots of love in the chat for it, George. There really is, and lots of love among fans. Enjoy the rest of your sunny day wherever you are in Spain, and hopefully it's nice and sunny. Here it's horrible, blusty weather, but yeah, congratulations on writing and performing such a song that hits so many nerves with so many fans in the right way.
Well, great. Thank you.
And thank you for coming on today's show, George. Look after yourself and all the best.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, George. It's such a great song, isn't it? Really a great song. And as you say, you're going to reach out to the football club. The postman's going to try and deliver another
I think I've seen Nick Muller in the chat there saying LA is a great song. No, it isn't. It's a load of fucking dirge.
It's okay if it's the only song if it's one of the.
That's not our song anyway.
If it's one of a collection, it's okay. It's when it becomes the only song, which it so often does.
We don't have many songs now, do we?
No, we've lost the repertoire. I just think, you know what? There's the song when it's been sent around. All the things I've heard is how emotional it's made people, and you need a song like that as a football club that hits, you know. And I got what George was saying there in terms of the broad range of fans, but as younger fans, maybe you're in the pub till 3:05 anyway. It's that tradition you start building up over time, so it becomes a thing. A bit like Never Walk Alone, you know, that had to have started somewhere. Blowing Bubbles had to have started somewhere. Literally, you have to start somewhere with a tradition and something that's your own, and then you stick to it. And that's something that for the football club never has done. It's never stuck to anything.
You touched on that before, didn't you? You said they don't stick to something.
We've had My Way played a couple of when we had, you know, before a game, and then that was dropped. Singing the Blues has been coming and going more times than I don't know what. You have to commit. And I want the football club to really commit to this, because it is a song that touches people's or plays or not plays.
Yeah, I don't agree. You just have to be an older fan to like this.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you will learn as you grow in your own life. You know, like it's a lot more poignant for me because, you know, obviously I've lost my dad. He took me to the football. For others who have still got their dad and perhaps too young to realise life's very.
Yeah, my dad's 83, still alive, but he can't go to the football anymore. You know, old age. He took me when I was 8, Martin, in 84. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we've all got our stories, haven't we?
We truly have. Anyway, we need to have a word from one of our partners, or two of our partners. First of all, I want to play. It's not an advert, but Away Day beers. Did you have an Away Day beer last night?
No, I didn't. I don't know.
Did you not? I had Lambert's mid-table ale. Have you tried that one yet?
No, Lambert Ale.
Lambert Ale.
I didn't get any of that. One. It's sold out. He's got the new one. Have you seen the new one he's got for Christmas?
What's that called?
Ince Pies.
Ince Pies. Oh, I like it.
And he's got another one coming. He's got another one coming as well. Yeah, he's got 2 Christmas beers.
What's he got?
Great Christmas presents, you know. You know someone who likes the beers. Josh is your man.
Absolutely. Awaydaybeers.com. ITFC Legends Packs only $14.99. Well worth it, obviously, because they're fantastic ales. I've already had many of them, but not the Ince. I'm looking forward to trying the Ince Pies. I truly am. That sounds like it could be good. Is it taste like a mince pie? Is that what we're playing on here?
I don't know. But Jason Clayton there in the chat says, and he's right, we need a decent sound system around the ground first.
Turn the fuck. Just turn it.
You don't like it.
Get George there on the centre circle, playing the song before, you know, actually with the instruments, and then we can bring the team out. Because the PA system blows the cobble stand away. People in the North Stand can't hear it, or whatever, or vice versa, or whatever. But yeah, no, not for me.
But that's another thing with the stadium now. If you got like when they built the North Stand, I don't think they could do it. Because obviously the road. I think they wanted to do like the Portsmouth stand behind the goal. Like one tier going up, but you've got downstairs and upstairs. Do they ever sing the same song?
No.
You know?
No, they never do. They never do. They never do. Right, but anyway, you could have an Away Day beer, ITFC Legends Pack $14.99, and then you could go contactless with
Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single £1.20, a return
Fares from £2. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town. Contactless routes, contactless contactless payments. Can you imagine that? Contactless routes. That is 50 years in the future when you get transported.
Inch pies, it's a 4.8% volume,
Woo.
and it's a get this, a box to box bitter.
Well, you know what? It's honestly a play on the words of a Gov. I think the Gov needs to try it because the Gov recognises a Gov. So, Josh, get it sent to me and we'll get it on the show. But we had a good show today. We had Marcus Stewart, Professional Insights. We had George Baker.
That was good, wasn't it, with Marcus? Because obviously, look, it's normally me, you and Matt. But to have the professionals view, and like he was saying, like talking about Matt Penny there, you know, body shape and all. And it's looked really good to listen to someone who's obviously played the game. He's a coach. And fantastic.
He's a great coach. I've got him as my number 2 on FM. He's a great coach. Love working with Marcus. Don't forget, we're giving that away as well. Start of the show. Paul Birchinell, congratulations again on winning FM22. DM me on social media or the official account, and we'll get you hooked up with that. But we are back tomorrow, 8:30, with Talking Town's Extra Time. Joining me will be the said mentioned media mogul Matt Phillips and No Filter Yorkshire V Vicky Henderson, hopefully back on fine form following her being in hospital last week with a bad chest, but hopefully she'll be with us and raring to go and looking forward to talking more Plymouth and then looking ahead to Wickham. But we're done. Is it a roast day, Crunch?
It's a freezer, whatever's in the freezer day.
Oh, is it? Is it really?
That's what I was told. I'm off to ref at 6:15. But what are you thinking before? Because I probably won't speak to you again. What are you thinking about Tuesday at Wickham? I'm going.
Are you?
I'm going. If you listen to a lot of people on social media, there's no point going because what are we going there? We're not going to win there. Football doesn't work like that. You know, we're taking, I think, 1,900 there. I think they're looking, Wickham, to have their biggest crowd ever on a Tuesday night at Adams Park.
Everyone loves to see Town play, mate. That's what it's all about.
But we really do need to go there and get a win.
We do. We need a win. And if you are going, as Richard is there, don't forget, buy a program and you might see a really good article from somebody on this show. Not saying who, but you might see a world's best article. I'd even sign it for you next home game. There you go. Look,
who buys a program nowadays?
Wouldn't possibly be able to comment, but if you
Cambridge
do,
United don't sell programs now. You can do a digital program.
Well, there you go. I'm getting mine sent to me from the director there. But yes, absolutely looking forward to getting that, seeing my name in printed lights. But we're done. We're dusted. Back tomorrow at 8:30. That is the Cruncher. I am the Gov. That has been Marcus Stewart, the legend. George Baker, the artist, the musical legend. Don't forget, I will drop his song in the chat again. The link now coming in is
Are you going to play it?
I'm not. No, I didn't get clarification from him if I could. And you know how funny I am about making sure people's rights.
He said if he'd have brought it out, we wouldn't be able to play it.
Yeah, I know. But you know what I'm like. I like to get the I's dotted. If he says I can, and I'm sure he will, but if he says I can, I'll play it tomorrow's Talking Town Extra Time. But the link is in.
Yeah, I'll just have a chat with him.
The chat. Great show from Lee Anderson, but we're back tomorrow at 8:30. We will see you all on the other side. Catch you all tomorrow.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning.